Hey, what's up guys? So Uniden just released a firmware update for the DFR6 and DFR7 radar detectors. It's a pretty minor firmware update. It's version 1.10E. And basically what it adds is kind of band segmentation options for both K-band and Ka in the form of Ka narrow and K-band narrow. And it also has a minor altimeter fix for the DFR7, where before it only used to work up to 4 digits, since if you drove over 10,000 feet, it would be capped out at 9999. It now works up to 5 digits, so it'll work just fine at all elevations that you'll be driving. But anyways, as far as the new K-narrow options and Ka narrow options, let's go ahead and pop the detector on the windshield, take a look at it, and check out those new features. Now, taking a look at the new settings, we're going to hop into the menu. And then we're going to take a look here. We've got two new options, so K-band wide and K-band narrow, and same thing with Ka wide and Ka narrow. So starting us off, K wide is generally going to be covering all the frequencies in use here in the US. If you want to scan a little bit narrower, you can do that. Now, as far as Ka wide is going to be covering all the different frequency ranges that the detector can scan for, and Ka narrow covers everything that's in use in the US. But though, quick note, if you live in New York, you probably want to run Ka wide due to some stalker guns that you are going to need Ka wide to scan for. Otherwise, Ka narrow is going to be the way to go. Now, as far as any performance improvements with maybe running Ka narrow, for example, we don't know yet. The firmware update was just released, so we got to test and find out for sure, right? But if you want to go ahead and update your detector, the way to do that is go to Uniden's website. I'll link you to it in the video description. And then on the page, don't actually search for the detector. Just scroll down and click on the firmware button, and then you'll actually see all the information for both the DFR6 and the DFR7. You're going to find a link to where you can actually download the drivers for the detector. If your detector is having trouble talking to your computer, it's Windows only. And you're also going to find a link to download the new firmware update. Now, as far as a new firmware update, there's actually not one, but 2 different programs that you have to run. The first program that you run updates the detector's firmware itself. That one, really quick process. And then the second thing that you're going to want to do is actually update the voice pack of the detector. Now that you've got new options to say Ka narrow and K narrow, right? K wide, all that kind of stuff. So you're going to want to run that program second. That one actually does take a little bit more time. So again, just do the firmware update first and then the voice pack second. And then finally, one thing that Uniden typically recommends whenever you do an update is just do a factory reset for your detectors to reset all the settings, especially when there's new settings that have been made available. And then you can just go in and program your detector and make sure you get all the settings set the way that you want. If you need any help as far as programming the detector, I did a video, actually, I'll link to it in the video description, or you can just click the button on screen, and it'll walk you through all the different settings and options for the detector, except for K narrow and Ka narrow, since those ones actually just came out after I'd shot that video, but now you know about those too. So anyways, just a quick video to let you know about the new firmware update and the new features that are available here in the DFR6 and DFR7. So anyways, thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll see you guys in the next video.